Hello friends and welcome back for another episode of Indie Impressions. My name is Nick and today we're going to be checking out something called Hubsuite Hub. This is an alpha version of it and it is by developer Creability. It's a little bit of a tricky one to classify, but the classification where I found it is under the adventure genre, and it is still pretty early in development. So there is only one level to the alpha, but in essence, what I can tell... Oh, it's gone. What I can tell about this one is there's this little hub, essentially, that we walk out of, and then we're supposed to go find some orbs, and then we need to go bring the orbs back to the hub, and make sure we do it, I think, before the night consumes you, I think. Okay, so there's this little quote here. So, bring back daylight to a world that has none. Start at dawn, always follow the flower path, collect the orbs, and run back to your hub before night consumes you. Okay, so we want to spend the orbs at the shop to gain abilities, but the shop isn't quite implemented yet, so that's what this is telling us here. Follow the flowers, return to the hub after collecting all the orbs, and then run back home before daylight goes. Then lastly, stay away from the vacuums. They absorb your orbs and kill. Wow, that's a little bit dark. I wasn't expecting that. So we've got a pretty open environment, it looks like. There's trees off in every direction. We've got this beautiful verdant field here filled with flowers. And this might be one of the orbs. Once the flower blooms, the vacuum will boom. Okay. Alright, quickly gather the orbs. The orbs are more like a collection of particles than actual orbs, I suppose. So we want to run around, and then the sun is going to set. It looks like we're going to be getting possibly some nice music. A vacuum has spotted me. I don't know, what are the vacuums? These red mist clouds? Yeah, everything seems to be awfully happy and nice right now, but it's not going to probably last very long. It's an interesting premise. I'm not really sure what to make of it just yet. There doesn't seem to be all that much to it, but I'm really enjoying the lighting effects and the general atmosphere and the tone of the ambience around. Anytime I get to run around outside in like a field like this generally seems like a nice place to be. Provided I'm not getting eaten by a vacuum. Oh my goodness, I just saw... What was that effect called again? Chromatic aberration. So what happens when it eats my orbs? Is there a way to get more back? I don't see... Oh, well, the shack came back, or the hub, I guess. So let's head in that direction. I see there's another orb over there. So we're going to see if maybe we can grab that. I really like this, the swaying grass. And there was a little bit like God rays coming through the trees. We've got the shifting light sources. And it all seems very smooth and pretty and kind of happy. Definitely flies a little bit in the face of these scary vacuum things that are trying to suck the orbs away from me. Is there anything else to do here? It seems like we've just gone on a loop. And that might be it. Oh, there's another area over here that I might have missed. Does it go somewhere? So now it's starting to seem a little bit like it might be a corn maze or something. Oh, what is this? It's like a super orb. I guess that one's worth 5 for going a little bit off the rails. So if that's generally how the gameplay is going to go, maybe we go to a different landscape each time, search for the orbs, try not to get eaten by the vacuums, and then I guess we get to spend it on some sort of attribute points between each level. And we're safe. I didn't really feel like we were in a lot of terrible danger, to be honest with you. But it says in this little readme thing that it's a game where the health, money, and mana are all the same thing, so use them wisely. Oh, that's really pretty, actually. Not sure what that was, but it was nice anyway. So, yeah, like, what are we going to do with health and mana and money here? I mean, I know we're going to spend stuff on things, but I'm not sure to what end, right? We've got this little fountain here. Doesn't really seem to be adding anything. I think it just might be very early in development right now to have a whole lot to say about it, so I guess we'll just continue and try this one more time, see if we can accumulate some more orbs. But I do like where the developer's head is at. I like the fact that it's got this really nice atmosphere and that it might be a bit scalable, and I could totally see there being a lot more to this. I just want to explore more and not be so bound to this little rail of essentially what comes to be like, it's a track that's made of flowers, right? I mean, it's kind of obvious, and there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of deviation that you can make off of that. Yeah, there were a couple little angles that you could take that were a little different, but it doesn't seem like there's a whole lot just yet. But again, early. I mean, this is an alpha, so I gotta take that with a grain of salt. So I really like also that this is like a pink hue that's going through these flowers. That would be kind of neat if everywhere you've run, maybe the flowers that you run over might change colors, or maybe you could have some sort of an attribute that you leave behind that you could create, perhaps like walls to block the vacuums from chasing you. If you're particularly well aware of your environment, maybe you could cut through some of these grassy areas to get to a better place, or maybe you could even just completely go off the rails and look for something that has nothing to do with the rails at all, although it's awfully hard to find where you're going, and this is probably going to get me killed. Kind of curious if this is ever going to end. Oh no, okay, I guess we've just got the ends of the grass here, and then that just turns out to be empty space, so not a whole lot to do with that. But can the vacuums chase me into this grass? Well, it's certainly pretty psychedelic, and as long as I keep jumping, well, I can kind of see slightly where I am. Yeah, this could be a problem. You might want to add a little UI cue that's like, oh, this is where you need to go to get back to the world again. I did see there's something floating through. Oh, it's the top on the top of the vacuum, and I think it just got a few more orbs out of me. Actually, that's really all you need. If you could just have like a little arrow that points to the center of anywhere on this flower track, and then just sits over top layer-wise of all of the other... Oh, a vacuum spotted me again. Yeah, if it could just sit up on top of all of the other stuff, that would probably work just fine. I also feel like there's a slight reference to the Void in this, just with the fact that we're, like, bringing light or changing light, and then there's colors and orbs, and things are siphoning souls out of you. It's a very confusing game, to be honest, but still, I feel like there's a very slight influence there. The vacuum spotted me again. Why does it keep getting the orbs from so far? There should be more of a cue to let you know you're about to get hit by that. And will I make it back in time? I am safe, but just barely. So I'm collecting the orbs. I'm at 48, and I don't think there's much of anything else to see at this point, but I really like that effect when we go in, and then it starts to rain light. I see that there's definitely some promise to this one in the future, and I think some of the visual effects are a good indicator. Just needs a little bit more time in the cooker, and I think after that, definitely going to be some stuff to talk about. Right now, though, I think there's probably, well, we pretty much covered it all. So anyway, I guess we will wrap up this episode, particularly short one. I wasn't expecting this to be quite this short. But still, I'm glad we covered it nonetheless, and it's something that I assume I could probably come back to after a while, if the developer does continue on this one. So I could keep going back to the same points, and this doesn't even appear until we've actually picked up the other orb to start off all the events into their chain of motion. So, with that, I guess I will leave you. This is, again, a free game if you want to go grab the alpha version that I'm playing right now. It is available, and I will have the link in the description, so feel free to go try it yourself. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'd love to hear your opinions. What could still be developed? What might make this more engaging for you? What would you add or subtract or change to make this the most fun it could be, in your opinion? And, of course, in general, if you have any support for the series or if you'd like to suggest a game, feel free to let me know in the comments as well. I do read all the comments, so it is worth taking that moment if you don't mind. And I do appreciate any likes, of course. If you enjoyed the video, of course. I only ask for them if you feel that way. And lastly, if you want to check out some of my other stuff, I've got my other social media links, like my Twitter, my Facebook, and, of course, indie-impressions.com available in the description area, so if you want to go browsing for some other videos in the series, best bet, check out indie-impressions.com. Nearly 500, or actually by this video we might actually be up to, or rather 600, the 600 mark. And also really lovely sound. I didn't really comment much on the sound, but I really enjoyed the few sound cues that were along for the ride. I think the one that's in the hub itself is probably the most enjoyable. So a nice resplendent sound of peace and harmony and tranquility. It's a little bit haughty, though, to describe it that way. But anyway, you get the point. So, with that, we will close out this episode. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and I will see you back for another one tomorrow. New episodes are every single day, so I'll catch you there, and I hope you have a lovely night.